Why do we have a culture at the moment where nobody will accept blame for anything?
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, we've mentioned this a lot on Twitter recently. People are it's like with the Salford thing. You know, we picked against Salford. Everyone, you hate Salford. Don't watch this programme. It's blah blah. It's like, hang on. There's only there's 3 outcomes in a game. We can still have a draw. We just give an opinion. We're not we're not thinking.
And there is no form this year apart from St Helens. So every week we're going to get most of our predictions wrong.
Yeah, possibly.
Which is what
a lot of people say we're in the wrong because we don't criticise referees, but we ain't got enough referees to start criticising. If we had like 300 really good refs and someone has a bad game, and you can go, maybe we need to have a look at that.
Exactly.
You know, we haven't got the referees.
But where are we going to get these referees from?
Well, would you want to be a referee now?
I'm going to pick this out of the paper, and I apologise immediately because it's not a scientific straw poll.
Okay.
But this is the latest disciplinary sanctions in the Kingston Press National Conference League.
Okay.
So this is below the professionals and the semi-professionals. So this is where rugby league really starts and where you inculcate the right values.
Respect, yeah.
Now there was obviously some ill feeling in a Woolston-Hunslet Warriors game. The other week it was clearly played at Woolston. So
that's my son's team, that.
Match official abuse by coaching staff.
Is that him? Is that your son?
The sanction, warning to future conduct.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
Is that Schofield Jr. abusing the ref? Is it? You're a disgrace.
Same club.
You are a disgrace. How have you brought up your kids?
I didn't know that. I'll ask him. I got my phone in the car.
Failing to control spectators, £100 fine, suspended.
Who's that?
What's that one?
What?
I don't know. And then match officials abused by spectators, £100 fine. Where is the disincentive there for behaviour?
Yeah.
If all you're going to
get
get
of domino cards,
is a warning to your future conduct, a suspended fine and a nominal fine.
But is that like, do you need to start from the top then? Because let's get on to this McManus.
That's why it's so important that McManus has to set the lead on this.
Can I throw one out there then, Phil? Because when we talked about the Warriors 3 weeks ago, the Warriors played UF, and we all know who refereed the game, the 18-year-old girl from Leeds Rhinos, the fullback unit, what's her name?
Beavers.
She was absolutely outstanding. And my worry was, certainly coming from the area where I'm from, and we just mentioned from there, about maybe the abuse and certainly the respect what she won't get. But I tell you what, as I said on the show, she did that well because nobody recognised her because she refereed that well. The respect what she got from both sides, UF and the Warriors, and also too for the Speckies, was sensational. So now, I'm asking the question, Phil, should we have more females than refereeing games?
Maybe.
So they get the respect from the team and they get the respect from the supporters.
They've got to be of quality.
Oh yeah, I don't just swing anybody in from
Not
there.
a fan of tokenism.
But no, I'm not at all. But if they're up there with the male parts as well, give it to the female referees to make sure we don't have this.
What if Caitlin Beavers resigns this week on the back of what Eamonn McManus has said, and has decided I don't want to be a referee anymore. I'll just concentrate on playing because I'm not going to end up as a Super League touch judge or at some point in my career a referee. If a chairman of arguably the best run club in the game at the moment, it has got licence not only once but twice to absolutely vilify the man who at the moment is our top official.
Yeah. Look, we're not giving away any confidences. We both spoke to him yesterday. I thought he looked devastated.
I think the first thing to say is he acknowledged that he made a mistake.
Yeah, he with hindsight, he wishes he'd have reviewed it. So what? With hindsight, Alex Wams wishes he hadn't dropped that ball 3 times. Coop wishes he hadn't dropped it. Justin Holbrook's wished he'd have picked a different team.
Hindsight's a wonderful
thing.
Should
Eamonn McManus not be more bothered, Scott? And this is only speculation, but you were at the ground, and it's coming from good sources. That Justin Holbrook offered to resign after the defeat at Wembley. What do we make of that?
I heard that myself on Friday night, and when I got talked 2 or 3 times, have I heard regarding Holbrook that after the Challenge Cup where they didn't offer, he resigned, and the St Helens board says, no, we're not accepting your recognition, and he's seen out this season, so is the pressure getting to Holbrook? You know, and the pressure certainly
is. It is only speculation.
Speculation.
Generally, when we hear something, it's coming from a good source.
There's no smoke without fire, is it? It's as simple as that. And and James Roby saying, you know, we're not going to be renowned or known as a great side until we win one of the big awards. Well, you know, you're going to have to win it for 2 or 3 years to remember there's a great side. Yeah, it might be a good side if you win it. If you win it this year, but there's extra pressure on there. But but when and I've said it in my column today, when I read it on Friday, and my first thing was, Eamonn, do you know what? You're very good for Rugby League. You've been sensational for St Helens. You took them away from Nosey Road, which, as we all know, for a dump. You've reinvented St Helens from there. Great stadium. The investment what you get, the people who you brought in, certainly to St Helens from there, simply outstanding. But you know, certainly to question the integrity of the referee on the point of view where, you know, he's had a meeting with the Warrington fans, had a meeting with Carl Kirkpatrick, we know the CEO from Warrington from there. I just think it's totally doesn't what the game needs. We know what happened at Warrington Catalans 3 weeks ago, which has not been dealt with. Who's going to deal with this? This is a Super League club. Can the RFL deal with this? Because it's a Super League matter. And everybody will be saying it, and they have to, and rightly so. You know, it's just because St Helens got beat. Well, Eamonn said, well, listen, first of all, I want to congratulate Warrington on what they've done.
Well, stop there then.
Correct.
Stop there. It's
Exactly.
irrelevant. They've won, you lost. Get on with it.
That's what I'm just going to say, man, because I'm just going to say, listen, what's done is done. All right, if you've got a grievance from there, it stays in the 4 walls and this sort of thing.
Use it, build on it.
But unfortunately, it was sour grapes, and the atmosphere at St Helens, even on Friday, the performance by St Helens players, it was like a sulking performance, that they were still sulking after the loss to Warrington. And also as well, all everybody was talking about, unfortunately, not just about Eamonn's comment, is about Robert Hicks. Why didn't you go to the screen? That's all everybody was talking about.
There's 3 things. One is when Robert Elston came in, one of his missions was to elevate the profile of Super League. On Friday night, his team that has dominated that competition this year picked up the Leader Shield. Nobody reported on that.
No.
The words of the chairman of the club that should have been embracing the fact that they've won arguably the hardest trophy to win.
Which he makes that point in his notes, but no one's written.
But once you've written everything else, no one's going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
No one's really going to write a feature on how good your team has been this year.
Correct.
And at the time, they were 18 points clear, which was, if it carries on, is going to be a record.
Yeah.
And nobody mentioned that.
Yeah.
We got a little picture, but all of the comment was about what they.
Well,
that's the first thing.
Oh, go on then.
So the second thing is it's factually incorrect. St Helens,
which the RFL have come out and said.
But St Helens made 18 errors on the day. Robert Hicks made 1.
Well,
St Helens won.
There's still no cast iron proof
No.
that he scored. And as I said, and Rich made this point last week, is it Morgan Knowles who got it? He didn't celebrate like he scored the first try at Wembley. You know, if he'd have gone crazy, would Roberts gone, maybe he got that down, I don't know.
But St Helens won the penalty count 4-2.
Yeah.
They had so many opportunities. That decision was within, the first 10 minutes of the game?
Yeah.
They had 70 minutes to put that right. That's nothing to do with the referee or the match officials.
It's a sliding doors moment. They could have given the try and they could have lost 38-6 for all we know.
And I think the third thing is that I don't know if this is right or not, and only Eamonn can answer it, but I was particularly aggravated that he felt he had to put out a second statement.
Yeah.
But all it seems to me is that Eamonn has been one of the architects of Super League having its own administration. He's been one of the 4 or 5 Super League chairmen that fought harder than anybody to set up an alternative and put Rob Elston in position.
Yeah.
This is a chance to have a go at the RFL, because the RFL control the referees, and it's almost as if we're all still playing this horrible political battle where if I can blame the other governing body for all the ills of the game, I'm going to do that. And if we persist in that direction, we've said it numerous times, sport isn't big enough to have 2 governing bodies.
Why has he not come out? And this is the issue, because you said, look, however, it would be remiss of me to be silent on the officiating both during and before the game. Our referee can be involved in a publicity stunt with the CEO of a participating club in the week before a Challenge Cup final defies belief and reason. This apparently resulted in some pathetic spat on the open sewer that is Twitter some weeks before. The fact that referees go and are allowed to go on Twitter with fans is utterly on me. No good can come of it, and clearly no good does. Resultantly, the perception of officiating impartiality was destroyed even before kick-off Why did he not complain before kick-off then? Because
Why-
if you
why-
and I had to go at Neil Udgell about this a month when he criticised the disciplinary procedure after the event. When he came, one of his players had got banned and he kicked off. And I said to Neil, spoke to Neil personally about it. I said, I think you're wrong. I think if you'd done it before your man got banned, then people that carries weight. If he'd have raised that before, I don't think the RFL have had any other option but to remove Robert Hicks from that game.
Well, do you think that he's doing this so that Robert Hicks doesn't get the grand final?
Well, my question, right, and again, you come on, that there's more of that disgraceful statement from the first one. Then he comes out with a second one. My matchday programme notes seem to have created a lot of heat and light, which is probably a good thing, as the core issue at hand could not be more serious for our game. Firstly, I reiterate my express congratulations to Warrington, worthy winners of the Cup. What are you mourning for? If they were worthy winners, what are you mourning for?
Which is exactly what his coach said in the press conference after the game.
I was very clearly making the point that Robert Hicks had been placed in an invidious position due to recent death threats. So now it's gone from a, what did he call it, pathetic spat, now to the fact that he got a death threat. So actually a bit of acknowledgement there that it's probably a little bit more serious. From a Warrington fan, his subsequent close dealings with that fan and the Warrington club in the period leading to the cup final, he appeared voluntarily on an ITV interview shortly before the game to explain this experience in some detail, to express how upset he and his family had been by this. It's impossible to assess to what extent he had been emotionally affected by this during the high-profile dealings with Warrington and their fan. For that reason, he should not have been appointed in such a high-pressure, demanding game in which Warrington were a participating club. Perceptions of even-handedness and impartiality are as important as reality. This can be no more than in the presence of instance of refereeing where integrity and the perception of integrity is paramount.
So,
In no other professional sport would have made such an appointment given those prior disturbing events and facts. So at least he acknowledges it was actually quite a serious incident.
two things there. You're giving licence to keyboard warriors to give death threats to referees before any game, whichever team they support.
Yeah.
And the open sewer that is Twitter, St Helens use a hell of a lot as a club.
Of course they do. Yeah, and use it well.
And they don't say, I'm sorry, we're taking a moral high ground here, we're not going to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're promoting their games, they're putting their...
What position does this put Hicks in then? Because if Hicks now, there's every chance he'll get the grand final, he should do, based on performances. And even I allow for that. Well, my point is, so his next Saints game, what happens then? Because the other team can go, well, look at what's happened there. How can he be fair to us when McManus is abusing it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the
I think it's a disgrace.
Can of worms.
What do we think then should happen to Eamonn McManus?
Oh, he's brought the game into dispute.
But what happens? You find him, he's not bothered, he's got enough money.
Do you know what I think?
That's all you can do, really, can't you?
And it's very drastic, but it'll make a point. I think unless he publicly apologises for what he has said and said, I got the tone and tenor of it wrong, there was a process to go through that I should have done and not gone public in programme notes, then St Helens will refuse to appoint a referee to their games. The RFL.
You can't do that, can you?
Have a game without a referee. You can't.
Well,
So
the reason
pressure
why do you have a
back on
referee? I
St
always say this. Why do you have a ref? Because the teams can't be trusted to do it
so the
themselves. So
RFL
you need a ref in the middle.
and say until he apologises,
Yeah.
we're not going to appoint a referee to any of your games.
That's not going to happen. That ain't going to happen. It should
Somebody
happen.
needs to stand up, don't they?
What makes
It's
me
like I
laugh
was
is
saying
further
about
to
this
his...
Hunslet Warriors thing. If you don't ever punish it,
Yeah, but I think, and I've been involved in amateur sport and also in kids sport. The kids react to what they see on the telly. I guarantee you that they react to what they see on the. You go to a football game and they have a drink of water and they spit it out on the floor. They squirt the water. Why do they say that? Because see the players doing it on the telly. That's what they do it for. And this is why it needs stamping out. You know, as tempting it is, I'm not going to blame the individual referee. It's an absolute.
But his second statement was only blaming the individual referee.
Yeah, exactly. I just.
That's
don't
why
get the
I hold
comments.
him to account.
You know, I thought one of the Saints fan websites made a really good point when no one even mentioned this before kick-off. No. Nobody, not one person. So why? And that's the Saints fan website. Now, I think Rich has been on Twitter, you know, and he's having his spat with or arguments with people because Saints fans are defending these comments. I just can't get my head around it. I cannot get my head around it.
Defend it.
It's indefensible. And that's why it should have a massive sanction. And that's also why Rob Elston should have come out and criticised the guy who pays his wages.
Rob Elston seems more worried about David Fafita's pink shorts than he does about what's going on in the game.
Really disappointed.
You go back, Steve Ganson, and was a paid-up member of the St Helens fan club. I know that for a fact.
Well, he's come through that referee society.
Yeah, he was a paid up, but he refereed. No one ever questioned him. No one ever went, hang on, that's not right.
Well, I'll tell you what, Robert Hicks, for the rest of this season, he will not referee a St Helens game.
Well, Dan says we're misinterpreting the point. Hab says some McManus should apologise for speaking the truth.
It's not the truth.
It's not the truth.
And not only is it not the truth, there is a time and a place and a way to make your protest. He has an obligation that is bigger than his own club not winning a cup final, which is entirely their own fault.
Yeah.
The obligation is to the game, and that's why he's bought the
game. Well, this comes back, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago, Steve Ganson, big article in the paper, we've got to respect the game, we've got to respect the referee. Absolutely, it is disgraceful.
You can't defend it.
I'm so, Daniel, I like you tell me how I'm misinterpreting the point. You know, this is... you cannot defend it.
No.
You cannot. It's disappointing, right? And Justin Albrook was disappointed in the presser after.
And he said he couldn't believe
He couldn't believe it.
But he spent all of his time in the presser telling us what a good team Warrington were.
Yeah.
And how well they played.
Yeah.
All of the Saints players, in the limited post-match interviews they did afterwards, because they were absolutely gutted, only wanted to praise the opposition. So why is the chairman of a club that is quite rightly put up as being a paragon of what we stand for as a sport, able to say something like that and not realise that it's going to have a massive implication on the look at the The only thing people wanted to talk about at the game we were at yesterday afternoon, have you seen the McManus comments?
Yeah. Well, we were at another game. I was at another game and it's coming through to me and everyone's talking about it. You know, we work on national radio. What do they want to talk about? They want to talk about the comments because it's outrageous.
You have a moral obligation beyond your own club. And unfortunately, Eamonn McManus, who we like, admire and respect, has got this wrong.
Yeah.
And you can't defend that.
I think hindsight, as Robbix will tell you, wish he'd have reviewed it. He might have reviewed it and the try not been given. We don't actually know that.
Well, it would have gone up as a
no try, yeah.
And there would have been 3 or 4 more angles than the one that the BBC played at half time.
Yeah.
One of those angles would have showed us a little bit more of what Robert Hicks saw. And it might have been that he was at an angle that it looked like it wasn't conclusive grounding. The other 3 or 4 angles showed that it was, and he would have been overturned. But
hindsight's a wonderful thing. I just look at this and I think, like you said, the fact that he's come out and almost reaffirmed his stance is even worse.
That's terrible.
You know what I mean? And this is a programme note. This is not a tweet he sent out when he's had 16 pints.
Super League
he's done that, and someone will have read that and gone, "Are you sure you want to say that?" And he's gone, "Yeah, I'm sure I want to say that."
But also too, just in the League Express, I just read McManus Rose, just to finish on the little paragraph here now. And I think this just shows a little bit more of an arrogance from Eamonn, to be honest here. I am certainly not causing anger by legitimately expressing my firmly held views, which are based on fact, common sense and good practice. I am merely reflecting very widely held views. I can only hope that some very serious, obvious lessons are learned from this by the RFL. We will continue our discussions with them on this and other related matters at all the appropriate levels, but this is the best one. I also look forward to hearing from the RFL's compliance team, to which it seems I have been referred, although I have not been informed why and what for.
Well,
which again, I think,
does that not show now more of an ignorance
issue?
Yeah, and this David Hill says you won't even be talking about if Brian Carney had to publicise it. Well, here's where you're wrong. Right,
I said it to you.
Here's where you're wrong.
As soon as I got to St Helens on Friday
I'll tell
night,
you why you're wrong. Because Gary was at the game, so he wasn't watching the TV. And I got a message at 6:53.
Correct, Friday.
6:53. So Sky wasn't even on the telly at that point.
Correct.
With a picture of the programme notes, and that's it. So everyone's seen it. So don't say because it was on the telly, people are kicking off. People aren't kicking off because it was on the telly. They're kicking off because it's in writing and people can see it.
Nothing but admiration for Brian Carney for bringing that up. Well, because it would have been very easy for Sky to have brushed that under the carpet.
Well, to be honest,
there aren't too many broadcasters.
No, Phil, but it had to be
who
brought
sat in that home stand.
No, but it had to be brought up because it's a massive talking point. It's brought the game into disrepute.
I think
it's as simple as that.
But I think there are some other underlying issues with the paragraph you've read out between the RFL and Super League.
Exactly. You know, who's the boss?
We need to get away from this. I mean,
but who's going to penalise them? Is it Super League? Is it the RFL? Or who's going to penalise them?
How long is it going to take?
Well,
because we're going back to the Catalan Warrington fiasco of a month ago, and it's still ongoing.
I think, though, in fairness, that probably does need some more investigation.
It probably does, but you have to put a time limit on it.
Right, let's get through loads of interaction. Thank you to everyone that's getting involved. You get into YouTube on the comments, you get in touch on Facebook on the comments. Please share, retweet, like with your friends. Let them know we're here. We're not here, yeah, exactly. Get stuck in. We're not. This is not a one-way street, and this is how this show works.
You'll see our fans on you. You're not ready near them out. About an apology.
Well, that's because they haven't been on. You know
Sure,
why? You know why?
there must be.
You know why? Because all quaking in the boots that they don't lose to London on Friday. Because if they do, I will be getting stuck in next week. Rest assured. Paul said, serious question. David Argyle stood down from his position because of his comments. Should McManus do the same? We'll see. Hab says, does the panel not think that James' Child performance on Friday was equally bad as Hicks at Wembley? Was Child at Cass at the Saints game?
Charlie was the referee,
yeah. Did we have a bad game? Good game?
Yeah, it was pretty ordinary, to be honest.
Ordinary? Alright, fair enough, yeah. Refs are allowed to have a bad day.
Did he determine the outcome?
No. Wasn't a little bit. He certainly got some severe booing and plenty of attention when he was walking off the field.
Yeah,
but
because it's easier to blame the referee.
Especially when you've read the
exactly.
chairman's programme notes, and it's all the referee's fault.
Yeah.
But did he materially affect the outcome of that game?
No.
Any decision he made?
No.
Michael said he enjoyed the game, so he thought it was good. Lots of frustration, great high emotion, close battle from beginning to end. So that's what happened there. To one of our listeners, just get involved. Wright says Elson cannot bite the hands that are puppeteering him.
Absolutely, which is what's wrong with the appointment.
You know, well, it is, but at the same time, I think now he has got to come out and he's got to be seen to be taking on. You know, and you know, I've been quick to criticise the RFL. I'm not going to say I have, but their last two statements, this one and the Bradford one, have been top draw. I sense a change at the RFL. I think the gloves are coming off here,
they're going aggressive.
And I think they're going aggressive. So maybe we need to have a look at that. You can get in touch. Let me get involved here. Loads of tweets. Sid, our beloved OKR fan, says, I'm not quaking. We'll smash them all over the park, says Sid.
Well done, Sid. I'm with you, son.
He's been on the Blue Wickets.
I'm with you, Sid. I'm with you. If he has, can you send one over?
He's still stuck in Perpignan Airport because of the traffic control.
Well, Dwayne's come on with a different one. He said, you dress it up how you like, but the main flux of it is that referees make mistakes because nobody's perfect, but it's glaring errors that are being made.
But it still doesn't determine the outcome of the game. Nobody can tell me that if Robert Hicks had referred that and sent it as an own try and even had it overturned, that the result of the cup final would have been any different.
Isn't it interesting that the test last week, go back to the cricket, it's a great example. When the Aussies used their review and they needed, was it 8 to win still England needed?
Yeah, 8, yeah.
And I've listened to all the commentary. Ponting I thought was superb on Sky.
Absolutely,
And he was like, they've just wasted that review. And he said, you win and lose games on how you use your reviews. Glenn McGrath was on the radio. He said exactly the same thing. He said, I've said all along, you'll win and lose a test match by how you use your reviews. No one made them use that review. They used it themselves and it cost them the game. Now the players are going all about how they've lost it because of the review. But yet the papers are going, oh, we've been cheated by the official. The officials have cheated us. But yet the people who played the game, no, they know. Mistakes do happen. Things like that happen.
Absolutely.
Get on with it. Whether it's a glaring error or not, well,
St.
so be it.
Made 18 unforced errors in the cup final.
Yeah.
That's why they lost.
Look at that, biscuits as well. Now this is normally where Richard does all the talking so that we can eat all the biscuits, but sadly that's not going to happen. Gail says both Price and McNamara never questioned the ref's integrity. I think they both said he didn't have a great game, but they didn't question his integrity. Coaches are often questioning refs' decisions like Chris Chester did yesterday, but this went a lot further from
This is a chairman.
McManus. Yeah.
This is somebody who is admired in the sport for the fantastic job that he's done in making Saints a powerhouse and moving them almost at his own expense to a state-of-the-art stadium that we as a sport are incredibly proud of. But I think he's undermined his standing for doing that because this, to me, looks and sounds extremely petty.
Yeah, it does.